Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times? Or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth? And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. 2 Ezra chapter 6, verse 7 to 9. Shalom. We'll start by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rachak Kodash. Double honor to our venerable apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. And peace and blessings to the Lord's elect, the house of David. It's a brother Aharon coming back at you with another lesson, lowell and beatifying and uplifting unto the elect. And I have an article here, real interesting I want to go into, titled 30 Numbers from 2025 That Are Almost Too Crazy to Believe. Hey. Good boy. Right? 30 numbers from 2025 that are almost too crazy to believe. Okay? And hey, come here. Bring your ass over. Let's go. That's enough. Right? 30 days from 2025, or 30 numbers from 2025 that are almost too crazy to believe. All right, and as you read through this this article, is just going to highlight, all right, that we are truly at the end, especially with the kind of things that's happening in 2025. You only can get the you only could come to the conclusion that this is reminiscent of 2019. All right, in the sense of the last year before, life changed. You know what I'm saying? Like 2026, and how you're going to be getting a lot of this whole AI revolution, so-called, right? AI is going to be playing a pivotal role in people's lives come 2026 and beyond. All right. And that's all part of the beast system being set up. Okay. And with AI being incorporated comes the MOTB prophecy. Okay. So it says here, 2025 has truly been a historic year. No matter which side of the fence that you are on, nobody can deny that we have witnessed seismic political changes over the last 12 months. And that's ever since DJ Trump came in. All right, the nigga, this is like Warp Speed 2.0 for real. All right. It says, meanwhile, the AI revolution is transforming our lives, there you go, in ways that we don't even understand. But despite all of our advanced technology, we can't stop the endless barrage of natural disasters that has been pummeling US or around the world in 2025, and hunger continues to spread all over the globe. Right? It says, of course, war has been a major theme from the very beginning of the year to the very end of the year. Humanity has been facing one major crisis after another, and people are steadily getting angrier and more frustrated. Okay, and that's all part of the design. Okay, remember, the scriptures talk about in these last days. It says, let me get that real quick in 2 Ezra. All right, you get to a point where people get fed up and they get tired. Okay, when they get tired, as is written, or as the saying goes, desperate times call for desperate measures. Okay, so don't marvel when you start seeing people actually start doing these things and fulfilling biblical prophecy as we've always been bringing out. Okay, let's get it real quick. This is the book of 2 Ezra chapter 15 and verse 16. It says, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Okay, so humanity has been facing one major crisis after another, and people are steadily getting angrier and more frustrated. Okay, so that frustration boils over to the point where come 2026, you're going to see sedition. Okay, you're going to see people banding together. You're already starting to see now. A lot of people are noticing what's going on with this whole Minnesota thing, and they're saying, oh, nah, we're not going to be paying no more taxes if this is what our tax dollars is doing. That could be considered a form of sedition when you look at Project 2025 and how they try to bring about the erosion of the so-called Constitution. Okay, through Project 2025 and what's the other one? The SNP or something like that, MSNP, some shit. All right, the priest Amuan Gabor was bringing that out earlier today, at least the one that I saw. Okay, and I believe I went into it some time back. All right, going into Project 2025. Okay, let me see if I could find that video. This is a while back, so I don't know if I could even find it, but yeah. So basically, going into Project 2025. The pretty much the details of it. What it entails, the kind of plans that this devil, all right, has in store, and how they're going about using this whole executive orders, all right, to bypass Congress and the Supreme Court, pretty much to bypass the checks and balances. Okay, so it's a very dangerous thing that they're doing here. But anyway, I want to focus more on this article here. It's quite lengthy, but it says our world is changing at a pace that is absolutely breathtaking. It says, if you always wanted to live in interesting times, you have certainly gotten your wish. The following are 30 numbers from 2025 that are almost too crazy to believe. Number 1, as 1999 began, a Gallup survey found that 70% of Americans were satisfied with how things were going in the United States. Okay, this is prior to the year 2000, so a year before the year 2000. It says, as of 2025, all right, so 25 years removed from the year 2000, as 2025 ends, only 24%, from 70 to 24, all right, percent of Americans are satisfied with how things are going in the United States. So it's a drastic decrease, all right. Number 2, it says, in 1980, the fact that the U.S. national debt had reached $1 trillion was a really big deal. But now our national debt has surpassed the $38 trillion mark, and there is seemingly no end in sight. Number 3, globally, the total amount of debt in the world has reached an almost unbelievable total of $333 trillion. And one may ask, who are we in debt to? And the answer is the global central bankers. Okay, your Rothschilds, your Rockefellers, your DuPonts, your Gettys, all right, the people that run this world. Okay, they're known sometimes as the Illuminati and all these different things, but they have an identity. Okay, they have an identity that's given to you according to the scriptures. All right, and they're known as Esau Edom. Really, the head of that nation is Amalek. Okay, the only enemies of the children of Israel that the Lord said he didn't promise them any mercy. As a matter of fact, it's written that the Lord said that he will have war with Amalek from generation to generation. Okay, so that's those are the people that the Lord hates, but yet he gave them the power over the earth. Okay, and those are the ones that the earth or the inhabitants of this world are indebted to. Okay. Number 4, it says in 2025, more than half of all the nations on the entire planet were either directly involved in military conflict or were funding it. Okay, so that's another indictment against the people that claim to be God's chosen people. As a matter of fact, they don't even claim that. That's actually an interesting thing right there. They don't claim to be God's chosen people. All right, they just say that they are J-ish. So there is plausible deniability there. Right? They're not claiming to be God's chosen people. They've never actually, I don't think I've heard any of them claim that, that we are Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai's chosen people. They can't say that. So technically, they've never really claimed that they are God's chosen people. But they are self-styled. They are putting on a costume and masquerading like, what the Most High's people would be like, which is completely false. Right, their whole image is false. I mean, we don't just go around wearing all black, right? That's that's the left-handed Kabbalah spirit, the Talmud shit. Mixing all that stuff into Judaism and all that. Which Judaism really is Talmudism. So, they don't really go into the scriptures. They don't believe in the Torah, right? They don't go into the scriptures. They don't believe in the New Testament. So really, what really makes them God's chosen people when they don't even believe in the Most High? They believe in science. Okay, they believe in Satan. That's their God. All right. So yeah, we ain't trying to hear that shit. Anyway, continuing, it says, number 5, it says, at the start of 2025, you could purchase an ounce of silver for about $30. As 2025 ends, an ounce of silver will cost you more than $70. Number 6, crypto investors lost about $800 billion during the month of November alone. Wow. Number 7, after all this time, the Department of Justice is claiming that they have just discovered 1 million more Epstein documents. Number 8, in 2025, researchers in the United States and South Korea developed a version of the bird flu that has a 100% death rate in mammals. Humans are considered mammals. I'm gonna leave it at that. Number 9, it says, according to the latest National Customer Rage survey, so they actually do surveys for people raging, huh? 77% of U.S. consumers say that they have had a product or service problem within the last 12 months. That is a brand new all-time record high. Okay, and that's because a lot of the gadgets that's being made nowadays it's all it's not durable. You're buying brand new cars and then they have all these problems. So much problems that even the mechanics that you send into the dealerships, they can't even fix it. They can't even figure it out. All right, it's just bullshit, man. All right, number 10. It says, earlier this year, we witnessed 494 earthquakes in magnitude 5.0 or greater within a 30-day period. Wow. That was about 4 times as many earthquakes of magnitude 5.0 or greater than we normally experience in a typical month. Okay, so once again, the signs. Okay, let's get this real quick. This is the book of 2 Ezra chapter 9 and verse 1. It says, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. And that's what we're doing now. All right, we're watching the things that's going on around the world. We're filtering them through the scriptures, and they're making perfect sense. It's all matching up. All right, we're living in the days of biblical prophecy fulfilled. Okay, end time biblical prophecies being fulfilled. So that's why you're seeing the topic of the Israelites coming into play. You're seeing the topic of the Edomites coming into play. You're seeing the people talking about the Gentiles and all that. Okay, you're seeing the topic of war. Okay, you're seeing the topic of famines. All right, you're seeing the topic of disturbance at an all-time high, troubles like at an all-time high like never before. Okay, you're seeing people being poorer and poorer, being set up for the MOTB. This is all end-time prophecies, man. These are all part of the signs. Okay, it says that when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, right? So when you go into what Yahushua said, all right, to us, these two, all right, men speaking here, all right, Ezra and the Lord Yahushua, all right, to us today, they'll be recorded. To us, they'll be recognized as in the past. Okay, speaking of future things to come, meaning things that's going to happen in our lifetime. Okay, things that are going to be happening in our lifetime. So Ezra is talking about, the Lord says, when you see parts of the signs come to pass, then you're going to know, right? As it says here, verse 2, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Okay, so therefore, where there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world. All right, so we've seen the earthquakes, but the uproars is also coming, because we have seen uproars, but not to the scale that everybody's recognizing as yo, what the hell is going on? You see what I'm saying? And I could see 2026 being that year where you're going to see a lot of people from different sectors of life in America protesting, because life is going to be basically an uphill battle. You're fighting for your daily bread. You're fighting for your children's lives. You're fighting against AI not being regulated, right? AI taking your jobs, demanding all kinds of different shit, basically making your life impossible to live, right? You're in so much debt, you can't pay it. There's no jobs. The economy sucks, right? A lot of people are evicted. You know what I'm saying? Like, life is just hard, man. Life is just about to be crazy. Okay? And that's what's going to cause people to snap. That's what's going to cause the uproars. Okay? And Yahushua also mentioned what these things, the earthquakes, the famines, the pestilences, all right? The wars, the rumors of wars. These are all the beginning of sorrows. Okay? So yeah, man, everything is lined up for a sorrowful 2026, a year that people will never forget. All right, never forget, man. All right, remember, we're 7 years removed from 2019. We all remember 2019. That was the best year prior to all this shit happening. The last year of life before all this COVID shit. All right, and 2025 is going to be the last year before all this AI shit, pretty much. AI changes everything. Number 11, it says globally, natural disasters caused a total of $120 billion in economic damage in 2025. Number 12, the number of Americans that are dealing with food insecurity has almost doubled since 2021. 13, the United Nations is warning that nearly 10% of the entire population of the globe is now going to be bed hungry each night. This sounds like a people that are mourning. Okay? How can this be happening when you have all these multi-billionaires? If they would all come together and pull out $1 billion each, the whole entire planet will be fed and have more left back. You see what I'm saying? But yet they're gathering onto themselves all this money, all this power, all for what? For control. But the Lord said what? He's going. Let me get this real quick in the book of James. All right, the book of James chapter 5 and verse 1, it says, "Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you." Okay? Your riches are corrupted and your garments are moth-eaten. Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Ye have heaped treasures together for the last days. All right? They said that over the past, 5 years, you have billionaires who've become multi-billionaires. And you have multi-billionaires who become multi-billionaires, man. Okay? Elon Musk went from like 300 something billion to like 700 something billion, like some crazy shit like that. Right? Meanwhile, the average person is going broker and broker. Right? But yeah, these niggas is getting richer and richer, having more and more power. Number 14, it says approximately 1.2 million foreign students are currently attending colleges and universities in the United States. How many U.S. students have been denied admission in order to make room for those students at our best schools? Number 15, in 2019, you could get a cheeseburger at McDonald's for $1. Today, the average price of a cheeseburger at McDonald's is $3.15. Ugh. Number 16, since 2019, the annual income needed to afford a median-priced home in rural U.S. counties has more than doubled. Number 17, according to a survey that was conducted by PNC Bank, 67% of U.S. workers are now living paycheck to paycheck. All right, that's pretty much 2/3 of, 3/4 really, which is 2/3, but 3/4 of the American population. All right. Well, pretty much like, 2/3, 66.6, now 67%, pretty much, right? Number 18, Investopedia has determined that it now takes approximately $5 million to live the American dream over the course of a lifetime. I guess none of us ain't gonna be getting that damn American dream. It's gonna stay a dream. It's gonna stay a dream. $5 million. Fuck out of here, man. Meanwhile, you can go to a different country and live comfortably for nothing close to that. Like, what kind of hell is this? See what I'm saying? That's why, man, this place gotta go. All right. Number 19, it says, one study discovered that approximately 42% of Americans that belong to Gen Z have been diagnosed with anxiety, depression, ADHD, PTSD, or some other mental health condition. All right. So remember, we always say that America is a giant psychiatric ward. This is it. All these niggas, you got all these people that you got anxiety, depression, ADHD, PTSD. Some of them got all of them, and some, and on top of that, they got demons on them too. So this is what people are dealing with. They call them a mental health condition. This ain't no mental health. These people are mentally ill. It's not a mental health. There's mental illness. All right, they're sick in the head. Okay. And that's why they're about to do away with all of them. That's why these people are sick in the head. That's why your government can do the shit that they're doing and get away with it. That's why Trump can have all these technocrats in the White House chilling, having a good old time, having dinner, talking for 2 hours with Gil Bates. Talking about we had a good meeting, we had a good conversation. Ain't this nigga on trial for crimes against humanity? Him and Albert Bourla? But yet they buddy with your president. All right. Number 20 says one recent survey found that 70% of U.S. adults are currently taking at least one pharmaceutical drug, and nearly a quarter of U.S. adults are currently taking at least 4 pharmaceutical drugs. Okay, so you're getting that witchcraft potion from the witchcraft doctors. Okay, highly medicated society. That's a sick society, man. Literally. All right. Number 21, it says, according to the CDC, an American now dies by suicide every 11 minutes. All right. 11, destruction. Okay. 22, right. 11 times 2, 22. It says approximately 20% of high school students in the United States have had a relationship with an AI chatbot. That's crazy. 20% of high school. Oh yeah, high school. Yeah, them is Gen Z, Gen A, Gen Alpha niggas, right? So they don't know nothing about, relationships, or they live in bro. Most of these high school people are just 5-6 years removed from pre-COVID. Most of their actual developmental lives has been during the time of COVID. And what has been going on during the time of the CV? I keep saying COVID. The CV was what? All this AI boom and technology shit. You have Zoom calls. Niggas was taking classes in Zoom, right? If they're in high school right now, that means they were in middle school back during the start of the CV shit. So think about that. These are iPad kids. Shit, I'm an iPad kid. I'm a low-key iPad kid, but these people are like, they're addicted to the shit. They don't have any purpose but that. Like most children nowadays, they got a computer and they got a video game and they call themselves streaming. What the fuck? Like, who's watching you niggas, man? Like, who the fuck got time to be sitting there watching these clown ass dudes? All they do is, yo, chat, check this out, chat. Yo, chat. It's annoying. It's annoying. Okay? They got no life skills whatsoever. When all hell breaks loose, these niggas gonna be a problem. They walk around calling them YNs and all that. They're done. Niggas is having relationships with AI chat bots. You're done. This is a sick society, man. All right. 23 says one recent survey found that almost 2/3 of all church leaders that prepare sermons use AI tools in their sermon writing process. Okay. It's very interesting that the 23rd one is talking about almost 2/3. Okay. And the churches are leading them with sermons from AI tools. So there is no spirit behind that. There is no Holy Spirit behind that. Okay? There's a spirit of what? Of artificial intelligence. The fuck out of here. Anyways, keep going. 24. It says, well over 50% of the global population lives in a nation where Christians are being violently persecuted. All right, well over 50%. All right, soon it's going to be 100%, and they're not going just for Christians. They're coming after who? The prophets of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. We are the true Christians when you go into the true definition of the word. Okay. 25, it says, U.S. farmers are facing the worst economic downturn that they have ever experienced in at least 50 years. Okay. So what does that say? That means that famines are about to take place very soon. This is shit that hasn't happened in 50 years, man. It's not a joke. 26, the size of the U.S. cattle herd has dropped to the lowest level in about 75 years. Okay. They haven't seen these levels ever sit in the last 75 years, man. Okay, and America is approaching her 250th year, and these are all the things that's about to pretty much boil over. All right, it's almost like you put all these ingredients, 30 ingredients in here, and the fucking pot is boiling, and the explosion that's about to come off, you got to move far away, because you don't know all these elements that you've put together. And the way it's bubbling, you're like, yo, this explosion is going to be something. Let's move. Let's go far away. That's how I see 2026 becoming. It's like all these things is packed all together. It's like when it explodes, yo, you got to be far away, because, man, shit, 27, it says, according to Challenger, Gray and Christmas, U.S. employers have announced a grand total of almost 1.2 million job cuts in 2025. Okay, 1.2 million people are out of work. 1.2 million. Think about that. It's crazy. And that's being replaced by what? AI. Because Who else is going to replace 1.2 million people, 1.2 million job cuts? Who? All right, and you got people online, they're saying that they've applied. People put in 500 applications and they get like 3 calls back. Some nigga said, I think I brought this up before, some dude said he was laid off and he is like filling out applications is more of a full-time job for him. Like he wakes up in the morning, he's doing 9 to 5 and all that 9 to 5 he's doing is filling out applications. What kind of shit is that? What type of lifestyle is this? You see? And that's because they waste your life, your 4 years of pivotal time where you can start building yourself. The years were from 18 to 20, 22, around there where you're going to college, right? That fuck ass waste of time. You could be learning skills, okay? You could be using that time to make your mistakes in life so you could build from there. But no, they have you do all that fuck ass shit. You go to school, you go take gen ed classes, waste time doing all this dumb ass shit. From high school, you go into a college where you have to make life decisions. And then now you're in all this college debt and all you do is what? Party. That's all college is for. You're just partying and drinking and sex and all this dumbass, whole ass, capping ass shit. Wasting 4 years of your life. Okay? Just accruing debt. And then you finish and now you're still lost. You just lost. Okay? And all they taught you was what? How to force feed information into your head, regurgitate it. Don't think outside of the box. Just give us the information that we give you back, and that's it. Show us that you're obedient. Okay? Show us that you're going to be a good slave when you hit the actual job markets, when you hit the corporate world. You see what I'm saying? And that's just how they set it up. So by the time you leave, you're just in debt, ready to be sent right into the workforce. Okay? You have to work because you're in debt. It's not like you're going to school to make money, like how they pitch it, like, oh, you can become this, you become a lawyer or a doctor. No, they don't tell you what happens in the process. That most people don't even achieve what they went to school for. Okay? And guess what? Most things that you want to actually achieve is not going to take you 4 years to do. Sometimes it takes longer. Okay? So it's all a trick. It's all bullshit. All right? And until people wake up to it, man, you're going to keep getting your head stomped in, man. It is what it is. Okay? And when you break out of that matrix, you get so angry and so upset because you're like, why the fuck do we have to do all this shit, man? You know? But that's because the man of sin is ruling. That's why. Okay? So continuing, it says, 28, it says the McKinsey Global Institute is warning that approximately 40% of all U.S. workers could potentially be replaced by AI. 40%. 40%. Think about that. Think about that. 40%. 29, it says in more than 50% of the nations in the entire planet, or on the entire planet, the total fertility rate is now below replacement level. Think about that. All because of these devils, man. They did say that they want to depopulate. So it makes sense why all these things are happening. Is it by coincidence that all this shit is happening after they said that they're going to do all this? A recent YouGov this number 30. A recent YouGov survey discovered that nearly half of the U.S. population believes that a nuclear war is likely within the next 10 years. And we'll do you one better. You don't got to wait 10 more years. All right, trust me, life is about to become so much hell, you're not going to wish to have 10 more years in this motherfucker. All right, you're going to wish things that the days was flying by. You wake up, you open your eyes and you close your eyes, it's day already. It's nighttime. That's how you're going to wish things would, that's how fast you're going to wish things, the days were going when you see how Esau is about to unleash hell upon this place, man. When you see how the Lord has sharpened the sword and has given it to the hands of the slayer and what they're about to do with it. I was listening to this devil, Alex Karp, and the things that he's saying, bro, this nigga needs to be arrested and sent someplace far, far away from humanity. This fucking guy is a fucking terrorist to humanity, bro. Okay? And one might say, oh, but he hasn't really done. Yeah, you don't know this nigga, man. All right? Alex Karp, this nigga's a demon, bro. He's a high-level demon. He needs to be arrested immediately, right now. Right now, bro. Okay? And put away from human. Like, he's not a human being. He needs to be, like, he's an animal. That nigga's an animal. Okay? And by the time people realize what kind of demon he is, it's going to be too late. All right? You let this devil get a taste of blood, and he's going to come for everyone. Okay? It says the pace of global events has accelerated significantly over the past year. Why? Let's get that. Let's get that, because that's what our Lord said he's going to do. He's going to shorten the days for the elect's sake. Okay? There's a book of Matthew. Let's see if I can get it real quick here. There's a book of Matthew chapter 24 and verse 22. It says, and except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. Okay. You notice that the seasons are moving by a lot faster. All right. Spring, this last year, spring. I remember I was like, yo, I feel like we didn't even get spring. We went from winter to summer. Like we didn't even get spring like that, you know? And summer came and I was like, yo, why is the sun going down so fast? Like we didn't even get them like, you know, like the actual real summertime. You begin like the sun will be going down like 8:45, sometimes 9 o'clock. You still got some sunlight out. You know, them dog days of summer, man, I remember that. We used to go baseball practice and you'd be out there just playing baseball all the way till sunset. And then you come back, you be like, yo, damn, it's 9? Yo, what the fuck? It's still sun out. You know, I remember them days, man. Especially on Friday nights, Friday evenings, bro. Yo, it'd be mad late and the sun is still out. This past summer, it felt like, yo, by 8 p.m., the sun is already down. You'd be like, nah, what the fuck? Like, damn, bro, what's going on? You know? So time is definitely short, man. And people are noticing it. You know, it's not just us. Everybody be talking about it, like, yo, I feel like the days is flying, man. Yo, it was just last week. Think about it. We're at the end. Today is the last day of 2025. We just had 2025. I remember the first day, January 1st, 2025, man. I remember that. And today's the last day of 2025. It went by like a breeze. Like, I don't even remember some of the months. Like, if you know, sometimes you could catalog certain months, like certain things that happened. Like, you remember this month. Oh, hey, I remember this month. Oh, I did this month. This shit went by like a blur, you know? And 2026 is going to be even faster. With all this AI shit going on, like, man, just brace for impact. That's all I'm going to say. All right? Brace for impact, man. All right? It says this, continuing the reading, it says, it really does feel like we are building up to some sort of crescendo. Okay? And that is a perfect word, because when you go to that word crescendo, we're going to do that now. All right? Crescendo, right? It says a gradual increasing in force or loudness. Okay? We talk about we're in time of Jacob's trouble, but it gets to a point where it becomes pivotal. That point is where Ezra, when we read about Ezra saying, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? Those days are the dog days of Jacob's trouble, like the crescendo. Okay? The epic. See what I'm saying? The heat of the battle. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? The top of the top, where it's like, yo, damn, like you've exhausted everything you have, and the only thing that's gonna carry you through is the spirit and faith that you have in Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Okay? It says we're living at a time of a perfect storm. All right, and Trump said that shit in his first term. He said this is the calm before the storm. And people, oh, Mr. President, what do you mean by that? He said, you find out. So what did he mean by that? My first term was the calm. My second term is the storm. Okay? It says, and we just keep getting hammered by one crisis after another, polycrisis. As a result, much of the population has become numb to it all, and that's all done by design. Okay? Their senses have been completely fried. Okay? Since 2011 and even prior, all this mass shooting, this and emergency this, and there's a fire here, and there's this outbreak here, and there's a war here. All this shit triggers. It triggers. At some point, you just get numb to it. Most people don't even know that these things happen anymore, because it's just like, yeah, whatever. I'm just worried about I gotta go make money so I can pay my bills. Oh yeah, the house is burning down. Oh, cool. The neighbor's house just got burned down. Oh, that's tough. At least mine didn't get burned down. You see? But back then you sympathize, you help out, Nowadays, nah, forget about that. The love of many has waxed cold because everybody's struggling. Okay? Nobody's thinking about the next person like, yo, I'm gonna look out for you. Fuck out of here. You're looking out for themselves. Okay? Because it's embedded in people's minds that everybody else is out to get you. Okay? When you get to that type of stage and then you have nothing, that's when people start snapping. You have cannibalism. You have people violating each other, shooting each other, killing. Like, it's about to get crazy. All right? It's about to get crazy. Real crazy. All right? They said suicide every 11 minutes. Soon it's going to be seconds. People just offing each other. Okay? You're going to be hearing sirens everywhere. All right? It says, There's nowhere else. This guy here saying that there's nowhere else you'd rather be but here and now. Man, soon he's not gonna be saying that. All right. Yeah, because this is the end. Okay, this is the end, man. All right. So yeah, he said, don't let the chaos and all that's going around you. You know what I'm saying? Don't let that shit fool you. All right. Just understand that, yeah, this is all part of what? The signs before the end. Okay, the signs before the end, as in like the last few days, okay, before you actually see a different America altogether. Okay, America is not going to be recognizable. I'll say 6 months from now. It's not. It's just not. Okay, it's just not. 6 months from now, America is going to be a completely different country. Okay, with the way people think, with the way the system operates, with the way things are being introduced in our lives. All right, our course of life is going to be different. It's going to be completely different. All because AI is moving very, 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 very fast. All right. So yeah, man, those are 30 things that happened in 2025. That's just crazy to believe. Okay. And this article did a great job, putting it all together. All right. But it's all what? It's all prophecy. Okay. Of the end. All right. All these things we could have presets with them. All of them. Okay. But when you put it all into culmination, all right, this is what it boils down to. Like the guy used the word crescendo, okay, is what it leads to. This is the book of Matthew chapter 24 and verse 29. It says, immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of heaven shall be shaken. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. Okay, and that is the salvation that we've been talking about, the salvation of the elect. As is written, he shall send his angels, all right, to gather his elect, possessive. Okay, so whatever these Christians are talking about, what they say, a rapture. Like, oh, the rapture is coming. Oh, we're gonna be raptured out of here. Like, you get to choose. You just do all this wickedness and you choose to get delivered at the end. No. Yahushua is the one who he's gonna give the angels charge. So if your name ain't written in the book of life, the angels don't know you, nigga. You're not getting beamed up, boy. Your ass gonna stay right here and eat off those missiles, man. All right. Especially if you microchip, it's over with for you. That's your seal. That's your seal. So you better not take that chip. All right. You won't take that. You won't take that. Nah, you better not take it. All right, because if you do, all right, your judgment is death. Point blank. Period, man. Ain't no way around it. And forget what Elon Musk and them is going to lie to you about and say this is the greatest technology. Blah. Fuck them. Tell them, yo, shove it where the sun don't shine, nigga. I'm not taking the C-hip. That's it. All right, it's non-negotiable. End of story. Don't bring it up no more. All right. Okay, because the elect were waiting to be gathered from all the winds of the four winds of the earth. All right, from one end of heaven to the other. Okay. All right. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna leave it off there. Lowell, you were edified and informed. In closing, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Chakodash, the Wadi Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai. And until next time, Shalom.